In the next few minutes, you will understand exactly what MCP is and how to make money with it. We will start by explaining what MCP actually is and how it works. Then we are gonna talk about its architecture. And after this, I will show you how you can jump in and start making money with MCP today. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what MCP is and how to make money with it. If you're new to this channel, my name is Jakub, founder of Brainly, where I've been building custom AI agents and SaaS projects for over a year now. On this channel, I share practical strategies from my real-world experiences so you can immediately take them and apply them to your own work. So I will be explaining this MCP in three-step process of evolution of these LLMs over the past 3 years. Let's start with the sentence that I want you to keep in mind because it kind of serves as a foundation for this MCP idea. And the sentence is: models are only as good as the context provided to them. And why is that? Let me explain you on this first example where we have just the LLM, right? And when I say LLM, I want you to think talking to ChatGPT is for my non-techies here. So when ChatGPT 3.5 came out, it was just a model that you can chat with. Think of it as a friend that you can speak to, but he doesn't really know you that well. So let's assume you're asking the ChatGPT, write a poem about my company and the current world situation. The answer will be made up because the LLM ChatGPT has no idea about your business. You didn't tell it about your business, right? It also has no idea about the current world situation because the knowledge cutoff is probably like a year ago or something at this point, meaning the data that the LLM was trained on. So while you are in 2024, let's say, the LLM technically is still in 2023. Okay, so facing these problems, we developed LLM plus tools. So we started giving these LLM tools, and what these tools actually are is a way for the large language model to interact with the external world. So we give it some tools to have access to external data to operate on this data. So let's assume the same example prompt that you ask about writing a poem, but right now you actually have the LLM with tools, where one tool is browsing documents about your company and the second tool is searching the internet for current world news. So if you ask the same prompt to write a poem about my company and current world situation, you basically understand that it has to go to the tool, use the tool to fetch the data about your company, then it has to use another tool to fetch the data about the current world situation, put it all together and write a poem for you. And now you will get relevant answers. But let's move to actually what the MCP is and what problem does it solve. Because as you can see, every evolution is based on some problem. Right now, these agentic systems, these AI agents are becoming more powerful, more companies want to use them. And in real world scenarios, in real world business scenarios, if you are a developer, you know how complex these systems can get. And if you want to add the 30 or 300 tools to your LLM, it makes code base huge. You have to make thousands API calls. If some provider will change something in the API, you have to adjust your code base. Basically, it's huge pain if you're developing real-world commercial production-ready agents. And this is where the MCP comes. So we change the structure here from LLM directly interacting with tools, with having this layer, this protocol that we can talk to actually talk with services. So we don't directly interact with the tools, we talk to the tools, here actions, through services. So let's say we want to use Google Drive. So we want our LLM to be able to create files in the Google Drive, upload them, delete them, edit some Google Docs, edit some Google Sheets, etc., etc. So it would have been like, what, 10 tools, let's say. So right now we have one service, which is Google Drive service. And in this service, inside it, there are packed with 10 different actions, meaning 1, upload file to Google Drive. 2nd, delete file. 3rd, edit file, etc. etc. So the tools are becoming an actions which are packed into the services, and we've got this beautiful actor here, the MCP, which serves as a middleman. So this in fact is just a virtual layer, and each of these services is an MCP. So you've got the Google Drive MCP, the Supabase MCP, and the Slack MCP. What the MCP is, it's actually an open protocol that standardizes how applications provide context to LLMs. Because remember, it's all about providing this context. It's all about giving the context of Google Drive to LLM, of Supabase to LLM, of Slack to LLM. So now, thanks to that, you don't have 30 API calls to 20 different providers. The whole code base is super maintainable. The barrier to entry is way lower because it's less coding, meaning more people can use it. But for you to understand the MCP well, we will go through the structure a little bit. So we have the client and the server. The client can be closed for desktop, Cursor, Windsurf, or any of your client, meaning, for example, your AI agent. And your client communicates with database MCP server. So this is why it's so genius, because you have your unified interface. For example, a chatbot, an AI agent that can now talk to many MCP servers like Google Drive, Supabase, Slack, all super easily, and execute all these operations mentioned here: query and fetch data, modify records, handle the data streams. Now these are not tools, these are actions packed inside the MCP server. And why is it so genius? Because basically the entire responsibility for developing and maintaining these MCP servers is on the provider. So it's on the Google, on the Supabase, on the Slack team, and you just have to use it. So now let's go and see how we can monetize on this knowledge that you just learned. So I was thinking about monetizing these skills, and just a disclaimer here, the technology is changing and will change. We are just at the beginnings of the MCP and it will change over the next few years, I'm sure of it. So you have to keep an eye on it. But the entire AI industry is evolving super fast and people are still making money with it. So why not, instead of just keeping an eye on it, actually build something, make some money, and then keep an eye on it. So I thought about three use cases for this MCP. Let's start with the first one, which is MCP SaaS Marketplace. So it will be a marketplace of all the MCPs you can possibly find from different categories, and people will come to you to rent out these MCPs for whatever pricing model you choose. There's some subscription or usage based, but basically what you want to do is make it super extremely simple for them. Meaning, for example, they just put a link in whatever client that we discussed before, like the chatbot they want, and they can interact with the MCP. If you make it that easy, you will for sure find customers for your MCPs. Second business model is MCP AI agent. So what you want to do here is basically build an AI agent for some, for example, small or medium business that will talk to their business data, to their finances, to their CRM, basically unify the entire business through one MCP and one unified interface, which will be chatting interface. So it will be super simple for them to go and edit this, update this, pull this data from here, fetch this data, find this. You can basically automate the entire business with an agent that will talk to multiple services in the business. Super custom made, high ticket offer because it's custom made. It's actually huge potential, and yeah, I think AI agents and basically agents as a service, it's the future of SaaS maybe even. But yeah, it's just a side note. And last but not least is MCP consulting. So this is pretty self-explanatory. But what do you need to do is basically learn about the skills, learn about AI, learn about AI agents, learn about MCPs. There are plenty of companies that want to benefit from this technology, but they simply don't have the resources, as in time, for keeping up with all the new things coming up like MCP, etc. So you just need to learn it, come to this company, consult them, and charge for it, and maybe later even upsell them on some AI agent, for example. You can connect this to it. So yeah, these are the three ideas for monetization of the skills. And if you're new to this topic of MCPs, AI agents, here's the 5-minute video that I explain these AI agents the way I wish someone explained them to me when I was starting out. Enjoy.